Thank you for coming out. Barbecue we had this evening, the Cookout Barbecue.
Thank you.
And I got a question.
Yes, sir.
I noticed that we are losing our youth.
Yes, sir.
It seems to be lost. The question is, what's wrong? What happened? And who should we look to help us find what wrong, what went wrong, where are we, and where we are headed?
Well, most of the time,
is it the pastor? Is it the government? Is it the parents? Or should the children have some responsibility to add to this?
Well, I understand clearly what you're saying, man. A lot of times we're trying to put the blame on the government. The government cannot raise our children for us. The parents is responsible for their children. The children are responsible for themselves. The children are accountable for what they do. We all know wrong and right and wrong. So, and the pastors have a responsibility as a community leaders to help these children. That's the reason why it's so important that we stop all these things that is going on in the church and focus on the things of God so that we can bring these young people to Christ. Nothing else can bring any man to Christ except the word of God and by prayer. Nothing else. So we can put on things and we can do things and say this is that and this and that. Nothing else can bring no man to Christ. I've never seen nothing in the Bible that said somebody came to Christ because of music except the word of God. So the children have their own responsibility, things they have to do. The church have a responsibility. The parents have a responsibility. But we got to stop blaming the government. The government don't raise children. It's we, as people, that raise children.
Now I'm going to ask you another question, and we talked about this earlier. Do you feel like the government played a part in some of the problems and issues that we're dealing with when they took prayer out of school, number one? And when they stepped in, you know, back when we were younger, you know, we can handle our kids. We can deal with them with the rod. But now, if the parent was to step to the children, the kids can call 911 now. And do you feel like that kind of adds to the issue that we're having with kind of cause us to lose these kids?
Yeah, it's part of the problem. It's part of the problem is the government getting involved and taking prayers out of the schools, and now you can't do this, you can't do that to your children, and they will call 911 on you. But we have to go according to the word of God. The word says, "Spend on the rock." So what we have to do, what we need to do according to the word of God, to bring these children to where they need to be. And we can't rely on the government, because the first thing something happened, the same government who said don't touch them will be the same one who pick them up and lock them up. So it's the double talk. But we have to learn to understand, and we have to know what our responsibility is, so that we'll walk therefore in our responsibility and stop blaming others for our own mistakes.
Let me ask you this. Here's what I'm hearing.
Yes.
You're telling me that it's first the parents' responsibility.
That's right.
That's the first. That's right. First step.
That's correct.
Number two, I'm hearing that you say that the church has the responsibility.
That's correct.
They're going to have to step up to the plate and play their part.
That's correct.
And what you're telling me is that we are blaming the government, but we allowed the government to do what they're doing.
That's correct.
In other words, the government came in because we allowed it.
That's
and then you're telling me that the kids have to play a part because this is a personal thing.
That's right.
They have to take responsibility for their own actions.
That's right.
So it's, as a whole, we gonna have to look into who we are and how you said that earlier.
You see, you have to know who you are to know where you're going.
Okay.
If you don't know who you are, you won't know where you're going. If you don't know where you're going, you're lost.
Ooh.
So most people don't know who they are to know where they're going. So because they don't know where they're going, they stuck. I was sharing this with a young man a while ago. He said, like a man stuck in the mud, he don't know how to come out. But you forgot, you can take the shoes off. It's the shoes that's stuck in the mud. If you take if you get out of the shoes, you'll be able to come out of the mud. But most of the people stuck in the mud, and they can't come out of the mud because they still got the shoes on. We are in a place right now, but we have to come to understand that we have a responsibility. That's why the church have to wake up. The church need to wake up and realize that they have a responsibility, not just for the children. They are grown-ups in the church acting like kids. What example are you setting for your own children or grandchildren?
So what we're doing is playing blame game.
That's all we're doing.
We're blaming the government. We're blaming the church. we blaming the kids,
Yes.
we blaming the parents,
Yeah.
but everybody
should be involved. This is no one-man show.
everybody gonna have to play their
Everybody
part.
have to play their part. When you in the movie, playing a movie, one man don't play the movie. You have different individuals who are playing the parts. Everybody have to play their part for the movie to be successful. That's the same thing.
Minister Frey, thank you very much. Any closing remarks?
All what I would say is, church, wake up. Children, you're responsible for your own action. Don't blame the government. Don't blame your mama or your daddy. Your mama and daddy did not tell you to do wrong. You know right and wrong. So you have to be responsible for your own action. So I thank God for this interview, and may God be the glory.
Thank you very much. All right.